Hello, thank you once again for tuning in to my channel where we do our best to simplify the practice of quantity surveying. In this episode, we are going to be building up or pricing one of the component of road construction. And to be specific, we are going to be building up rate for priming, which is also referred as MC1 or MC30, MC40. They have different 70, they're of different grades in the market. So depending on the one that is specified that you should use in the description in the rate in the bill of quantity, that is the one that you will use. But in this instant, we are going to be using MC1. So, and some people might ask what is the reasons, or they want to know what is the reasons why this cost is being applied before the hot asphalt is laid on the base cost. There are three common reasons, which are: one is to serve as a binder between the base cost and the hot asphalt that is going to come on it. Secondly, it serves as waterproofing. That is why it is jet sprayed. Jet sprayed in the sense that it is forced into penetration to a depth of about say 10 millimeter, so as to that 10 millimeter that it goes into the base course, it now goes there to form a barrier for upward movement of water or moisture. Then thirdly, it helps blind the surface of the base course so as to prevent rising of dust. So basically, those are the three reasons or essence why the primer is used. And as you can see on my screen, there are three major components in the building of this rate, which is labor, material, and equipment. And in road construction, material and equipment take the larger chunk of the amount that road constitutes, while labor is minimal. The cost of labor in road construction is very small compared to material and labor. So we are going to be dissecting the two major components and to see where the actual cost is. As you can see on my screen, where my saw is placed, it reads the cost of a 200 kg drum of MC1 cost in the market is 350,000. Then I now made a provision of transporting it from the market to the place of use or to the yard, say 50,000. So the cost for one drum of 200 kg comes to 400,000 per drum of 200 kg. Then the next component, which is in terms of material, is the stone dust that will be spread over the primer after it has been sprayed on the surface of the road. And the cost per ton is a 14,000 per ton. Then before we start looking at the general build up of the rate, let us go to the equipment and dissect it for us to know the type of equipment that is involved for this exercise, for this tax on site. As you can see, my first equipment here is a tar boiler. And the tar boiler is a truck that looks like a water tanker, but it has a heater attached to it that boils the MC1 that is poured into that tank to a certain degree, so as to enable the free flow of those the primer through the nozzle And sometimes the truck comes in different model. There is the truck that comes with a hose and a nozzle that an operator is going to hold that nozzle and now spray it. And there are trucks that has nozzle beneath it connected that it can self spray the MC1 without necessarily having somebody to hold the nozzle. So in this case, I am assuming that the tar boiler that I'm going to use has a hose and a manual, a hand-held nozzle. And that is why I made provision for a sprayer and an operator. The operator is the person that will drive the tank that boils the MC1 to that certain degree that I just said, while the sprayer is the person that will be at the back of the truck holding that nozzle and spreading it over the surface of the base course. So as you can see, the first item is a tar boiler and the cost per day is 250,000. Then I have diesel, and the diesel is not just meant for the tar boiler, it is also meant for the aggregate spreader, because the stone dust can either be spread in two ways. The aggregate spreader is not a common equipment that you can find easily. So sometimes it necessitates now you have to manually spread where some heaps of stone dust is kept at interval. Then as soon as the asphalt, the primer is spread, then laborers will now use shovel to now spread the stone base evenly on the top of the primer. But in the case of the truck will be loaded with the stone base, and it has a spreader attached to the truck behind. Then it will now spread it evenly. The advantage of the truck spreader, it's fast. The spraying will be even, and it will avoid waste of material, heaping of material in some certain area because the labor couldn't spread it easily. Then you now have the broom sweeper. The broom sweeper has two functions. That is why you can see where I have the broom sweeper. I booked it for 2 days because it will be used before the spraying of the MC1 to sweep off the dust on the surface of the stone, the base cost. Then after the spraying of the MC and also the aggregate, when it's dried, before the asphalt will commence, the sweeper will come and sweep off the excess stone dust that is over the primer. So that is why I have booked it for 2 days, and why others are booked for 1 day. You can see the boiler is 1 day, the broom sweeper is 2 days, while the aggregate spreader is 1 day. Then you now go down to now look at the labor. Like I did said, labor, you can imagine the total cost of labor. The total cost for labor is 73,000 in this exercise. Why the cost for equipment is about 862,000. That is the cost of equipment. Why the labor is 73, you have 73,000. Then of course material at the end, you see that material is the major cost component in this rate build up. We'll see it at the end, and we're going to appreciate what I'm trying to explain. So you can see I have the sprayer. Like I just said, we're going to use in this case I'm considering using a tar boiler with a handheld sprayer. So that's why I have the sprayer controller, I have the boiler operator, then I have the spreader for the stone base operator, then I have the sweeper operator. Then I have some labor, and this labor, their function is on the day where the sweeper is coming, on the second day where the sweeper is now coming to sweep off the excess, is coming to sweep up the excess stone dust that is sprayed over the primer. The sweeper cannot sweep and at the same time pack the excess. So it sweep it to a particular location, then they will manually use a shovel to scoop up the excess, either with a wheelbarrow or with a lower truck that you can scoop up and it will now cut it away from site. So that is why I made provision for 4 laborers that will do that exercise, and that's 5,000 per day. So if you now sum up the cost for the equipment, total cost of equipment is 935,000. So now, what is the total area the tile boiler can cover in a day? It can spray to what extent in a day? Let us assume it will spray, say, 1.5 kilometer per day. Let us just do this exercise, a 1.5 kilometer per day, and that is a 1,500 meters multiplied by, say, the total width of the road is a 6 meter, So it gives me a surface of a 9,000 square meter. It gives me a total surface of a 9,000 square meter. So if it gives me a total surface of a 9,000 square meter, so I now divide my total cost of equipment by 9,000 square meter. So it gives me a 103 naira 89 kobo. That is the component of equipment in a 1 square meter. So let us now go back to the material. Haven't gotten the cost for equipment for 1 square meter. And I've been able to explain the various type of equipment that will be involved. Sometimes they use roller to roll over the stone dust after spraying. So you can as well add. So depending on the peculiarity of what you want to do. So the equipment is not exhaustive. Some could still add a roller, a drum roller, that after spraying the stone dust, it comes over and roll over the dust just to make it bind properly. So, but in this case, I'm not considering rolling a roller. So now the average kilogram of MC1 that is used, that is expected to cover a 1 square meter is between a 0.9 kg to 1.2. 0.9 kg to a 1.2, considering all gaps on the road, or all gaps on the surface of this that it will consume, waste and all of that. So, but in this case, I am considering a 0.9, and the density for an MC product is a 1.01. So I now multiply it. I multiply the liter, a 0.9 liter that is expected to cover a 1 square meter. I multiply it by the density just to convert it to a kg, to kilogram. Since my MC1 was bought or is sold in kg, so I now converted it to kg. So now I now got a 0.91 kg. I considered a 5% waste. Of course, in every endeavor there must be waste. Waste because of it could be as a result of during the course of spreading, and some gaps that will consume this material because it is not the road was not properly graded and all of that. So I made a consideration of a 5% waste. So, and the cost per kg is I divided my 400,000 by 200 kg, so it gave me a 2,000 per kg. So when I multiply it, considering the waste, considering my waste, 5% waste, I got 1,908 naira 90 kobo. Then for the stone dust, it's a 5 kg. of stone dust can cover average between 4 to 5 kg, 4 to 5 kg. And usually the thickness of spread over the surface of the primer is between 4 millimeter to 5 millimeter thick. So by the time you compute a 1 square meter by those thickness, you'll be arriving at the 4 kg to 5 kg. So now, since I am now speaking in kg, I had now I now took a 5 kg, divided it by 1,000, trying to convert my kg, convert it to ton. I divided it by 1,000 and now multiply it by the density of the stone, a stone which is a 1.5. Then I now arrive at a 0.08. Then I considered as well a 5% waste, and the cost for my stone dust is 14,000 per ton. So the total cost for per square meter, the tonnage of a 0.08 ton that we used to spread on over a 1 square meter is a 110,000, 110 naira 25 kobo. So it now brings the cost of material to 2019 naira 15 kobo. Mind us, we had already built up, we have already gotten the cost per square meter for equipment, which is a 103 naira 89 kobo. So when I add these two amount, the cost for material and the cost of equipment, it now per square meter now gives me a total of a 2,123 naira 4 kobo. This is the cost for priming, spreading of stone dust over it, and at the same time sweeping off the excess dust over the primer. It comes to a 2,123 naira 4 kobo. So basically, this is the way to go when you want to price a prime coat on a road construction. If I've been able to add some kind of clarity to your understanding on how to price this item, please give me a like. Don't forget to share. And if this is your first time of coming across my video, please don't end this watching of this video without hitting the subscription button. Subscription is free, and also this is the only way you can show us that not seeing you are not there when you're watching this clip, that you appreciate the little effort we are doing to add to the body of knowledge in the pursuit of quantity surveying practice and engineering at large. So see you next in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Keep a date with me next time. Bye for now.